Hey everyone. So you're in the radioactive chamber. It's a certain death sentence, but that last little bit has to be done just to let the party get through the door so that they can take on the bad guy. What player is going to allow their character to do that? Might be somebody playing the Blaze of Glory setting. Savage World, one of the best games today. Everyone, it's Carl with Tabletop Tango. Look at the bubbles, do the stuff. I say that every time, but I really would love if you're watching the videos and you enjoy the videos at all, subscribe. Doesn't mean you have to watch everyone, but they'll get in your feed, you'll see them, and then you can catch the ones that you like. I would really love some subscriptions because I'd love to hit another milestone and maybe have another celebration and try to get some folks on to celebrate in the live stream. But I need the subscribes to get there. So anyway, what am I talking about today? So I'm talking about what's called the Blaze of Glory setting rule. Now you may not have heard of it because it's found in the Rifts rule book. And so very cool. Rifts is gonzo, over the top, mega damage. It's really a cool setting, but it's not for everybody. So a lot of people don't play it. A lot of people don't necessarily get into the craziness that is Rifts, though you should probably try it out if you haven't. It's a lot of fun. So what is Blaze of Glory setting rule? So it is basically allowing a player who's about to die or will die to kind of do his last hurrah. They don't die, they continue the game, but at a pivotal moment, they do something that's self-sacrificing or is incredibly crazy, but over the top and saves the day somehow or gets the players in a better position to succeed. And then they die as a result, and they can have their last dying breath saying, "Go get them, fly you fools," whatever. So let's talk a little bit about what goes into the Blaze of Glory. So anytime your hero would be killed or could be killed, and this makes a lot of sense for settings that don't have the wound cap, because with wound caps, it's a lot harder to get to that position where you just can't soak the wounds. It also makes a lot of sense in settings that don't have easy healing, because if it's easy for the cleric to just kind of run up on you and drop two, maybe get a raise and drop two, take two wounds away, maybe it's not as fun. But this is really good for settings where there is this crazy, maybe modern day, where you're trying to be the last man standing. You're going against a big lieutenant who's holding everybody at bay, and you say, "Hey, you guys all go. I'll hold them off." It's really for that kind of thing. So, like I said, if your hero's about to be killed, instead of rolling for incapacitation, they can declare that they're going to go out in a blaze of glory. So the Blaze of Glory means that the hero chooses the moment when they're ready to die, and they expend everything he has left in a stunning display of power and determination for one last great ride into the sunset. This must happen before the end of the current session. So they must die. They must do the big thing before the end of the current session. So what kind of, how do you do that, right? How does that work? So when you get this big attack, you get a lot of wounds, you're going to go incapacitated, and you declare Blaze of Glory. You work with your game master to understand when's a good time for this to kind of take effect. And you're going to have to avoid metagaming a little bit, because the game master might have to get you in on a clue. Like, yes, there's going to be this radioactive room that somebody has to go in and save the day, or there's the big lieutenant who somebody's going to have to go mano a mano to sort of hold them back while the rest of the party moves on. So they're going to have to know a little bit about when something's going to happen. The alternative, of course, is the player can say, "Hey, just make it cool." And it even says that in a rule. They can say, "Game master, just do something cool. I'm all for whatever you come up with, and that'll be fun." So you kind of define that, you figure that out. The thing that caused all the wounds gets negated. So, or the thing that would cause the incapacitation gets negated, and they also aren't shaken. So it gets rid of sort of that big hit that took them out in the first place. Once they declare, then they also get 3 bennies. it says in the rules here, you should use them sparingly as they are his insurance for lasting the rest of the session until chosen moment comes. So does that mean he can't get more bennies and he just has the 3 bennies? He or she just has what they've got? Or does that mean they can still get more bennies just like any other player? Not really clear, but I'd say, let them have bennies just like any other player. But obviously you want to hold those bennies and not spend them crazy on re-rolls where they're not necessary, because you want to have some bennies in your pocket for when the big scene comes to, make the cool stuff happen. And then basically you keep playing. And you take your actions as normal, you do things that you would normally do, but then once you get to that final scene or the thing that's going to happen, it happens. And you try to attempt what you were trying to attempt to save the day. Things like I mentioned, going in the reactor room, setting up other players for the final blow by, maybe taking on some minions that would overwhelm the party. It mentions in the book to avoid making it so that the big bad is taken out in one shot. Like, oh, my blaze of glory is I'm going to run up to the bad guy. One hit, he's going to go down, and at the last minute as he's going down, he takes me out with him. It's probably not the right thing to do, because that's really a party thing. Everybody working together to solve this big problem. But there's a lot of things like a trusted lieutenant that you have to get through that it's like, hey, like I said, I'll take them on, I'll hold them off, I'll hold off the million stormtroopers while you guys storm the castle, whatever. They might stay behind to defuse the bomb and get it to a point where it still blows up or something, but they have kept it from like a nuclear device where the small charge that's supposed to detonate it is the only thing that goes off and takes them out, but they save the day and let the players to continue the adventure. So there's a lot of cool stuff like that. They could step in front of a killing blow that would take out the tank, who's the one who has to get the bad guy because he's got the special weapon. So there's a lot of different things you could do to make it interesting. So like I said, you play the scene, you continue until it comes the time for this blaze of glory to happen. Now, as a game master, you got to be careful not to rob the player of this moment, right? They decided that they wanted to do this, and so you got to be careful to make things too tough. Like if they're going against a trusted lieutenant and he's a wild card, and they only have these 3 bennies, and they're rolling the dice and the dice are not going in their favor, we have to figure out a way that they can take out this person. Maybe they do get a good shot on him and they knock them down and they almost fall off the cliff. And just before they're falling off the cliff, they take that killing shot or whatever. You have to come up with something, because you don't want them to go and declare blaze of glory and then bad die rolls just cause it a failure, right? And then give the players a chance to, they've done this, they've taken their player out, give them a chance to kind of describe, role play out what's going to happen there, their final breath, go, I've always wanted you to succeed, go forth and make it happen. And, give them a chance to do something that kind of sets the stage for the character, makes them go out in kind of an interesting way, a memorable way, and then it's time to roll up a new character and see what happens. Maybe they'll also have a Blaze of Glory. So Blaze of Glory in the Rifts rule book by Rifts. It's really, really good, even if you're not into sort of how over the top the setting is and stuff like that. It has a lot of good material in it. It's really good for if you want to do a higher power game that's more kind of modern. There's a lot of interesting stuff in there that you can leverage. Just like if you want to do something that's got kind of more power to it, you can use the Superpowers Companion, even if you're not doing superheroes. There's a lot of good stuff in Rifts that you can leverage. So again, Blaze of Glory, kind of a cool setting rule, gives your players something where death doesn't have to be scary. They can actually take advantage of it to do something cool in the game and make everything that much more fun for everybody else. So again, I'm Carl with Tabletop Tango. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next video. Look at the bubbles, do the stuff. Please subscribe if you're watching the videos. I would love to have that. Tell your friends, post it on social media. Would make me super happy to have more subscribers and celebrate getting to a new milestone. So again, thank you much. This is Carl. Savage World, one of the best games today. Savage World, that is enhanced my play. Savage World, different